you're looking to win more games in Marvel Rivals Ranked, eventually you're going to have to flex. So here are my top 5 flex characters for Marvel Rivals Ranked. Let's get into it. Starting out with number 5, we have Doctor Strange. A great flex tank, not hard to play whatsoever. He has a great ult for taking over team fights. A little hard to get off in some Doctor Strange matchups, but if you fly in by putting a portal above, or if you kind of sneak in the back and kind of rotate around, you can still get that ultimate off. Mechanics not too hard. I do recommend, or a little tip I suggest you learning is the melee auto combo, is where you hit your auto attack, then melee right after, builds ultimate charge insanely fast, and also helps you proc your madness. I forgot what that ability was called for a second. Also, if you don't play Doctor Strange, I recommend using that as much as possible, because if you let it sit at max, it'll make you anti-heal and it'll make it impossible for your supports to heal you. When playing Doctor Strange as a flex, mostly you want to be taking space. Your shield will definitely take a lot of damage if the enemy team is running double sniper. So definitely be aware of that. Let it charge. Don't let it sit and just brick all the time. And also, do not focus on tank players. It's good to build up your ability, your madness, but don't focus on it. As Doctor Strange, you either want to create space, or in a team fight, look for the support backline and look to auto them twice and then full on madness. Easy kill and a squish you down, or help your DPS take out the other DPS. Those should be your targets, never the full tanks. Unless the tank is in your backline with no one else around, then I would recommend taking that tank. But unless that's the case, focus the squishies. Now moving on to number 4, the only DPS I have for this list, because DPS is a hard role and a lot of mechanics are hard to learn besides this one character, Wanda. Really good, not I want to say really good, but you can definitely, as a support or tank player without too much practice on mechanics. She has a lot of escapability, so she's not easy to get picked off unless a sniper hits you in the head. So don't play in the team a lot, maybe play off to the sides. If you're going to be flexing as Wanda, what I recommend you do is take challenges on some of the snipers. Some of the snipers, unless you're very high elo, unless you're like diamond and maybe high plat, they're not going to be able to land all their shots consistently. So I recommend you take those shots against those snipers as you have an auto that fully tracks, kill them, and as long as you get that one solid pick, go back to your team and start helping pick off. You're not the main DPS, you don't do a lot of damage, but you can take some strong 1v1s on people who are separated from the team. If you see someone healing the DPS, pull back. You're not going to win that fight. You should also look to use your stun at choke points to stop people from running in with their ultimates. Sometimes it might stun them. I have Doctor Strange has been stunned by one of her orbs before, and I just lost 50% of my ult. Pretty ridiculous. Now her ultimate is going to be very hard to land. I recommend don't just use it out of the wazoo. If you are going to use it when a lot of chaos is happening. Use it when 2, maybe 3 ults are popping off. Use it when it's the least expected, or you're just going to get shot and not take anyone out with you. Maybe another good way to use it is use it as a defense. Maybe someone's running into you like a Penny Parker. Maybe someone's about to turn a corner. Pre-use it as a defense. It'll drag out an enemy's ultimate or to stop them from overall pushing your team. Now going for number 3, the man, the myth, the legend, Jeff. Great overall character, not hard to play whatsoever. A great flex pick if you do not play the support role. He has great healing, great utility, a game-changing ultimate, but starting out with his healing, it overstacks, so you don't have to be crazy precision with it. It has a good little AoE, and it completely shrouds the front line, so you don't have to worry about like people stacking over each other and not being able to heal them. His bubbles for his utility increases your healing, or just healing overall received by whoever picks up the bubble. Gives a good little movement speed boost, so if your DPS picks it up and they strafe, there'll be harder targets to hit, so that's also pretty cool. Also great for sustain on yourself as Jeff. If you're getting dived in the backline by Iron Fist or something, I'm pretty sure you've seen countless clips of just Jeff's running away. It does take a little skill to do it proficiently, but you can outlast an Iron Fist. As long as you're playing comp and your team is like watching the backline to some degree, you shouldn't be getting dived that crazy. And also moving on to his crazy ultimate that we've seen clips and clips of time again. If you know how to use your ultimate in the right situation with Jeff, you can be the game-changing factor to a lot of these matches. If it comes to holding or stalling out a payload on overtime, drag a whole half team off. Just like that. Isn't that? Because most of the team I stay on, even if you can't drag the whole team out, if you get 2 or 3 people, that's still leaving the rest for your team to cover up and clear up the other 3 on the point. And you don't even have to take them off the edge. You just gotta take the enemy team, throw them all the way in the back, and make them walk all the way up. Honestly, a really great character. Really great. Now for number 2, we got the Groot himself, the big tree. Now, in the meta where we are right now, currently, if you're not playing in the Diamond Elo, you can't really have any bans yet, right? And a huge problem without these bans are these snipers. I'm not talking about Widow, which she might be on the rise. I'm gonna be honest, she might be on the rise. But I'm mainly talking about Hawkeye and Hela. These people will take your team's head off. And that's not including if they have any type of damage boost. I'm talking about Mantis damage boost. I'm talking about Rocket Raccoon ultimates popped off or anything. They will take your enemy's head off. And sometimes it's just pure luck, which is insane. Groot, I'll tell you this right now, he is probably one of the best characters at taking it out. I've played in scrims where we had to, because the group was so good at keeping these walls up, it forced us off the Hela, it forced us off the Hawkeye, and it made us play Punisher in order to take down the rules, right? Now, depending on if the team has Punisher in their kit or a duo who's willing to work with them, is going to be completely RNG. Most of the time, it's not going to happen. But if you can keep throwing up these walls, like it's on cooldown, I'm talking spamming it, trapping tanks, taking the tanks out, trapping at it, keeping the tanks away from their healers, you can demolish their front line. On some of these close range maps, on some of these walkways, and some of these choke points, you can completely dominate as group. And in order to get around group, you're going to need a lot of team communication. You're going to take a different route. You're going to have to go for a flank. But even in Diamond and High Plat right now, which is currently like 0.5% of the player base, people are not doing any of this. The communication is just not there. So I highly recommend, if you're forced to play tank, and you're especially if you're defending, and you know they're snipers, group. Easy pick. Not hard to play at all. Easy pick. And his ultimate is really good too at pulling in and cleaning up. But that's going to be my recommendation for the number 2 spot. Now, if you made it this far to number 1, I appreciate it. Definitely helps out the channel. If you want to further help out, leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. But moving on with number 1, we have Mantis. Now, Mantis is not hard at all. She's a difficulty 1 star, but people are not using her properly. She is a damage dealer. Insanely. She is on par with outputting some damage with some DPS. As a Mantis player, you should be looking to constantly throwing out your damage orbs every time you get the chance. Damage orb, damage orb, damage orb. Having it on 2 or 3 people consistently running most of the time is great. As long as your team's not wide out in the open and constantly taking a lot of damage, obviously you want to keep them alive first. But even, you should just be constantly looking to, who could I throw damage on? Who's looking to take damage? I'm throwing it on my damage dealers. I'm throwing it on my tanks who can confirm hits. You as a Mantis player, you're just uplifting the damage of your entire team. You just become that much stronger. Some people in higher elo are even running goats as a comp, but that only works if Mantis is available as a pick because of her damage output. And don't just be throwing it on your teammates as well as much as throw it on yourself. Aim at high level. You will take out some DPS like a sniper. You are a mini sniper. Like, imagine Mantis with a handgun. That's what you are. Go crazy with it. You are a threat. It's like a 3rd DPS who can heal, and her movement speed is crazy as well, and her ultimate as sustain. Honestly, she probably overall, like all around, probably the best character in the game. Like all around, like in Diamond Elo, she's probably like the only support that will probably ever get banned. She can die. Probably the only support that'll get banned. She's great. Pick her up. But that's gonna do it for my top 5 characters to flex on in ranked video. If you disagree, or you might have any other characters you want to leave down in the comment section below, I'll always answer, I'll respond, let you know my opinion. I'll probably be doing a video like this for every season, because characters will get buffed, characters will get added, characters will get changed, all that good stuff. But with that all out the way, I hope you guys have a good, wonderful rest of your day.